It began on an ordinary day like any other. The sun rose, the birds sang, and people went about their lives, blissfully unaware that everything was about to change. Then, without warning, the first case was reported. A strange illness with symptoms no one had ever seen. A fever that wouldn't break, a cough that rattled the bones, and eyes that seemed to lose their light. It was brushed off as a new strain of the flu, something manageable, something treatable. But the truth, the dark, terrible truth, was far more sinister. Within days, hospitals overflowed. The sick became violent, attacking anyone in their path. The first death was only the beginning. People were dying, but they weren't staying dead. The dead rose with an insatiable hunger, their humanity stripped away, leaving behind only a primal urge to consume the living. Panic spread faster than the infection. Cities fell into chaos as the government declared martial law. Quarantines failed, and the military struggled to contain the outbreak. Survivors banded together, seeking refuge wherever they could. Homes became fortresses, and trust became a rare commodity. In this new world, the lines between friend and foe blurred. Every stranger was a potential threat, and alliances were often fleeting. Supplies dwindled, and scavenging became a daily necessity. The world was plunged into darkness, a never-ending nightmare from which there was no waking. Hope became a precious commodity, as scarce as food and water. Every day became a battle for survival. Food, water, and safety were scarce. The rules of society crumbled, replaced by the law of the jungle. Only the strongest, the smartest, and the luckiest survived. Trust was a rare and precious thing, often betrayed for the sake of survival. In this harsh new reality, people did what they had to in order to stay alive, even if it meant abandoning their humanity. Yet in the face of overwhelming despair, there was hope. Humans are resilient, and even in the darkest times, they find a way to endure. In small pockets around the world, people came together, united by the common goal of survival. They shared what little they had, defended each other from the undead, and held on to the belief that someday things would get better. Stories of kindness and bravery emerged, shining beacons of humanity in a world gone mad. In hidden pockets of the world, scientists worked tirelessly, searching for a cure, a way to end the madness. Their laboratories became beacons of hope amidst the sea of despair. Working in secret, often under the threat of attack, these brave men and women refused to give up. They experimented, tested, and persevered, driven by the dream of reclaiming the world from the grip of the undead. Their efforts were a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Communication broke down, but word spread of safe zones, places untouched by the infection, where people could start anew. These sanctuaries, guarded fiercely and hidden from the undead, offered a glimpse of what life could be like again. People risked everything to reach them, traveling through hostile territories and facing countless dangers. For many, these journeys ended in tragedy, but for those who made it, the safe zones were a new beginning. Survivors braved treacherous journeys, facing not only the undead, but also the perils of a world gone mad. They fought through cities overrun with zombies, forests teeming with dangers, and the remnants of a crumbling society. Each step was fraught with peril, but the hope of finding a safe haven kept them going. They learned to navigate the new world, using their wits and instincts to stay alive. Amidst the chaos, stories emerged of incredible bravery and sacrifice. Parents shielding their children, strangers risking their lives for one another, and heroes rising from the ashes of the old world. These acts of courage and kindness, though often small, made a profound impact. They reminded everyone that even in the darkest times, humanity's light could still shine brightly. These stories became legends, passed down as reminders of what it meant to be truly human. But for every act of heroism, there were tales of horror, betrayal, murder, and the unspeakable acts committed by those who had lost all hope. Desperation drove some to commit atrocities, and trust was a rare and fragile thing. In this new world, the lines between right and wrong blurred, and the true nature of humanity was revealed in all its complexity. The darkness within was just as dangerous as the threat outside. As months turned into years, the world adapted to its new reality. Children born into this world knew nothing of the time before, their innocence shaped by the horrors around them. They grew up learning survival skills, playing in the shadows of ruined buildings, and accepting the presence of the undead as a fact of life. For them, the apocalypse was not a nightmare, but the only reality they had ever known. The undead became a part of daily life, a constant threat lurking in the shadows. But humanity persevered, finding ways to coexist with the ever-present danger. They developed new strategies, built stronger defenses, and continued to fight for a future. Communities grew, fortified and resilient, standing as testaments to human ingenuity and determination. Even in the face of constant threat, life found a way to persist. And then a breakthrough. A small group of scientists, against all odds, developed a vaccine. It was not a cure, but it offered a glimmer of hope, a chance to reclaim what was lost. The vaccine, though limited, provided immunity to the virus, allowing humanity to fight back more effectively. The distribution of the vaccine was fraught with challenges, but it marked the beginning of a new chapter in the fight for survival. The fight was far from over. The world would never be the same, but the spark of hope had been reignited. Slowly but surely, the tide began to turn. Survivors grew bolder, reclaiming territories and rebuilding what had been lost. The undead, once an overwhelming threat, were now manageable, and humanity began to look towards the future with cautious optimism. As the vaccine spread, so did hope. Communities that had once cowered in fear now began to push back against the darkness. Fortified towns expanded their borders, reclaiming land from the grip of the undead. Families that had been torn apart by the apocalypse started to reunite, driven by the possibility of a brighter future. The initial distribution of the vaccine faced many obstacles: logistical challenges, supply shortages, and the ever-present threat of zombie attacks. Yet despite these hurdles, the survivors pressed on, their determination unwavering. Mobile clinics traveled from settlement to settlement, escorted by armed guards to ensure the safety of both the medical personnel and the precious cargo they carried. Each successful vaccination brought a renewed sense of hope and strength to the communities. The process was slow and painstaking, but the impact was profound. For the first time in years, people could envision a future free from the constant terror of the undead. Rebuilding was not just about physical structures. It was about restoring a sense of community and normalcy. Schools reopened, teaching not only traditional subjects, but also vital survival skills. Markets emerged, bustling with trade and the exchange of goods and stories. Festivals, once a distant memory, began to take place again, celebrating the resilience and strength of the human spirit. These events provided a much-needed respite from the daily struggles, offering moments of joy and connection. Children, who had grown up knowing only fear and uncertainty, experienced the simple pleasures of childhood. They played games, formed friendships, and learned about the world beyond survival. Adults, too, found solace in these gatherings, reconnecting with the cultural and social practices that define their humanity. Music, art, and storytelling flourished, serving as both an outlet for expression and a means of preserving the collective memory of what had been lost and found. The act of rebuilding extended beyond the material, touching the very core of what it meant to be human. Despite the progress, the road ahead remained fraught with challenges. The undead still roamed, and pockets of infection continued to flare up, requiring constant vigilance. New threats emerged as well: bandits who preyed on the weak, remnants of the old world who sought to exploit the chaos for their gain. The struggle for resources sometimes led to conflict between survivor groups, testing the fragile alliances that had formed in the aftermath of the outbreak. To combat these threats, communities developed sophisticated defense strategies and communication networks. Patrols and watchtowers were established to monitor for signs of zombie activity and potential human threats. Trade routes were carefully mapped and guarded, ensuring the safe transport of goods and people between settlements. Diplomacy and negotiation became crucial skills as leaders worked to foster cooperation and resolve disputes peacefully. The lessons learned from the apocalypse were not easily forgotten, shaping a new world that valued resilience, adaptability, and collaboration. The survivors understood that their strength lay in unity and that rebuilding required a collective effort. Technological advancements also played a crucial role in the rebuilding process. Engineers and inventors repurposed old-world technology to create new solutions for the challenges they faced. Solar panels provided energy, water purification systems ensured clean drinking water, and improvised communication networks reconnected distant communities. Innovation flourished as survivors sought to improve their quality of life and increase their chances of survival. Workshops and laboratories became hubs of creativity and problem-solving, drawing on the diverse skills and knowledge of the survivors. Renewable energy sources were harnessed to power homes and facilities, reducing the reliance on dwindling fossil fuels. Medical advancements, spurred by the urgency of the crisis, led to new treatments and preventive measures against the virus and other diseases. The spirit of collaboration and shared purpose drove these efforts as people pooled their resources and expertise for the common good. The integration of technology into daily life represented a bridge between the past and the future, offering a glimpse of what a revitalized world could look like. The journey was far from over, but the survivors had come a long way from the dark days of the outbreak. They had faced unimaginable horrors, but through it all, they had found strength in each other and a renewed sense of purpose. The world had changed irrevocably, but in its place, a new world was emerging, one built on the principles of resilience, cooperation, and hope. The memories of the past served as both a warning and a guide, reminding the survivors of the fragility of their existence and the importance of cherishing each moment. As they looked to the future, they did so with a profound understanding of the value of life and the power of the human spirit. They had learned that even in the face of the most daunting challenges, there was always the potential for renewal and growth. The apocalypse had tested their limits, but it had also revealed their deepest strengths. In the end, it was their unwavering commitment to each other and their shared dreams that enabled them to rebuild and thrive. This new world, forged in the crucible of the apocalypse, held the promise of a brighter and more hopeful future. As our story ends, remember, this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this journey, hit subscribe and join our community. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe in hope and resilience. Share your thoughts in the comments. How would you face a zombie apocalypse? Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay strong, stay hopeful, and we'll see you in the next chapter.